Alright guys, welcome back to another video. This one's pretty exciting. The recent Create Mod update just came out, 3.1, and I'll be going over some of the features with you today. Let's get into it. So there's a lot going on here, but first of all, let's start off with the new Smart Shoe. So basically, what they've done is they've gotten rid of vertical funnels. So that is no longer a thing, but they are replaced with the Smart Chute, which you can configure in pretty much the same way. So if you take some of these items, put them in the top, 16 at a time, goes into the lower inventory. Pretty self-explanatory. You can also configure how many you want to go for each cycle. So that's that. Next, now these are pretty cool. You've got, gantry cartridge and gantry shaft. And basically what this does is, if I were to turn this off, you can see it moves along the gantry shaft. Now this is disappointing, but so if I flip it back and forth, you can see it moves, and if I power the gantry shaft, it will actually stop the motion of the gantry cartridge and will turn that rotational motion into onto the gantry shaft. So right now I'll actually show you another feature that they added, which is if you hold W, it'll bring up this really cool pondering page, what they call it, and it can show you everything that a block can do. So as you can see, it's going through what the gantry shaft can do, what the gantry cartridge can do, and it's pretty useful. And you can see there's a lot of options on here. Next scene, previous scene, shows you a bunch of cool features that you can do. You can do 2 shafts, you can do a gantry shaft on a gantry cartridge, which is pretty cool. I could see some sort of 3D printers come out of that. But so first thing that came to mind was a gear shift. So this is the first design that I came up with. So right now I have one input going to all of these gears, which have 3 speed controllers, 16, 32, and 64. So this shaft is stuck to the top of the gantry, and so it will move along. So if I click this, stop it in the middle, let's check the, don't have my goggles on. They also updated some of the icons, so now the goggles are looking pretty cool. So you've got 32 RPM now. If I let it go to the 64 RPM, and I can bring it back, just like that, back to 16. Now my second design, much more compact. I just have the gantry shaft and the gantry cartridge, and then I have them feeding into 3 speed controllers, 16, 32, 64 once again, all to which will output at the top. And luckily, if you output at the top and it inputs back, it will still just do something, whatever speed it comes out to. It doesn't really matter because it will be connected. So right now, if I turn this on, we're getting 16 RPM because the shaft is on the 16. If I move it over, oh no, that's not good. That is something I wish they did change. So basically, whenever you're using a gantry, you need to have super glue on that face, which I wish wasn't the case, but it's manageable. So let's just try it again. Now goes to the 32 RPM, and still getting used to it, and the 64 RPM. So I like this design. It's a little costly. There's probably some fancier way to do it, but we'll see what people come up with. So on to the next thing. It's called the sticker. So basically the way this works is I have a rotational mechanical bearing here. So if I rotate this, you'll see the sticker just rotates around, just as you would expect. And Now if you give it a redstone pulse, it extends its sticker here, and that will connect to whatever block is in front, and it will rotate it around. So you can rotate it, let's say to here. I want to let it go, unstick, keep going. So that's pretty cool. Maybe some sort of crane device or something like that. But pretty cool. Next, one of my more favorite things. It is called the weighted ejector. So if I were to put something on here, boom. I didn't know why it didn't render there, but the block is now over here. So if I try that again, there you go. So this, I can imagine this in like a spaghetti factory, looking really cool, things flying everywhere, and stuff like that. You can also set this somewhere, I think, probably with a wrench. No. Here. So if you want only, so basically you can set this, maybe I want half a stack. So let's say I have a belt coming in here, and it will not eject until 32 items are on here, and then it will eject, which I think is a pretty good idea. I think it really adds to the functionality of this. It does take a decent amount of time. I'm going at 32 speed, and it takes, you know, a couple seconds to get back to its loaded state, but not too bad. And the second thing I wanted to test was if they had a wall. So let's try that again. And as you'd expect, no, it does not work. Which, pretty standard, you would expect. I'm not sure, I didn't really test it with a belt. Maybe it can go through belts, I really doubt it. But you guys can go check that out. Now, this is pretty cool. Honeyed apples, sweet rolls, chocolate glazed berries. So just a couple more automatable foods and whatnot. The honeyed apple, all these are made with a spout, by the way. So you put an apple on the depot. You just spout honey onto it to get the honeyed apple. For the sweet roll, you take a piece of bread, you spout milk onto it. And for the chocolate glazed berries, you take berries and you spout chocolate on it. So it's just a cool little addition. Probably will make factories more interesting. Now this is arguably one of my more favorites things that are added. The gantry is pretty sick, but this is just awesome. So I'm just gonna get these all out of my inventory. So now you can see where this is going. Yes, this is real. This is completely real right here. The Create mod. Official Create mod. If you don't think this looks amazing, I don't know what you're doing right now. Because this is insane. Okay? This is amazing. This is going to make factories look so cool. And you can use any dye. Let me grab, let's say, you know, I wonder what would happen if I put black dye. I mean, look at that. That is just crazy. Now, if you wanted to get rid of the dye, you can take a water bucket, I think, or a water bottle. You just do that. Splash does not work, though. So you can't do a splash, just a little thing. Now, pretty final thoughts here. Although vertical chutes exist, they no longer will transfer it from inventories on top to the bottom. So you can drop items in and whatnot. You also have a little model rework. It's a little more stubby, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Just looks a little stubby, I'm not sure. You also have the texture change for the redstone contact. And this is also another pretty exciting thing for the Create mod. So if I extend this, look at that. So now chassis connect in both directions. So normally we would only have this direction, but now you can place them like that and it will still work. So that is also pretty exciting. I think think I glossed over another texture change. Oh yeah, so the gear shift and the sequence gear shift are also changed, and the speed controller is changed as well, just to make it look a little bit nicer and whatnot. So that is pretty much it for this update. So hopefully soon we're going to see a lot of cool contraptions happen, especially with the gantries. This opens up such a big possibility with the Korean mod. I can expect to see some kind of updated quarries coming out with this feature. I also didn't take a look at the crafting recipes, so let's take a look at those. So the gantry cartridge, or have I been saying that wrong? Carriage. No, carriage? Gantry cartridge is pretty simple. Gantry shaft, simple again. So, you know, not too late game. I wouldn't say late game at all. I'd say kind of mid to early game. Let's take a look at the chute. So the chute is a little dicey with the electron tubes going to the nether and whatnot. I also did test automatic polished rose quartz making. Didn't work. Kind of disappointed, but you know, if you ever need to automate it, go check out my video that I made on it. Just a little self-plug there. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Really excited to get started with these new features. Maybe in some new sorting systems, some interesting things going on with the gantries there. But overall, pretty good update. A little disappointed about the funnels, but at least it wasn't just completely removed. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or ideas, make sure to put them in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Bye.